Hello peoples of YouTube, this is Magic, and I have another spoiler video for you guys today. So to start this off, this is going to be the actual art of Dahlia for the set. The other one was a booster box promo. And so, first we have Chittering Host. So, these two meld into, from last video, if you saw that one, these two meld, so they transform and then they stick together, so one goes on the top and one goes on the bottom. One obviously has this part and then one has this part. So what this essentially is a haste, menace, and 5/6, and when it enters the battlefield, other creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain menace until the end of the turn. So that's pretty powerful and pretty good. And then remember, the flip side of this is this, so it will be red. So you can tap this to add a waste to your mana pool, or you could pay red and tap, and target creature gains haste, so pretty much an expedite, but you don't get to draw a card. And then you can pay 3 and 2 red, and if you control both a creature, if you control this and a different card, you can exile them and then meld them together. So this is also a melded card. It just doesn't show it like that does. And this is Hanowar Garrison. So it's a 2 and a red for a 2/3, and whenever Hanowar Garrison attacks, put 2 1/1 red human creature tokens onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. So it's pretty good. It's very good. These two cards are very powerful. The only downside to it is that you have to pay 5 to transform it into this. But I think that's a good trade-off. But then again, you have to keep that alive for a couple turns. And then we have Long Road Home, this one. And it's a 1 and a white for an exile target creature, and at the beginning of the next end step, return it. So it's an eerie interlude, but it's only 1. But it enters the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step with a +1/+1 counter. Okay, it's not too good, unless you do it on your own creature to give it purposely, or it had an entered the battlefield effect. That's the only reason why you would use that. And then we have Dawn Griff. It's a hippogriff. So it's 2 and a white for a 2/2 flyer. That's it. And then you have Wretched Griff, which I don't know what happened, but it's an Eldrazi hippogriff. Alright, so it's a 7 mana, 3/4, and whenever you cast it, draw a card, and it has flying. But emerge, a new mechanic. So it states, 5 and a blue, you may cast a spell by sacrificing a creature and paying the emerge cost reduced by that creature's mana cost. So I'm going to say, if you sacrifice this, you would only pay 3, I believe. I am not too sure, but if that's so, it's okay. If you have a Dearly Departed and you use that would be a good deal, because you could cast that for free, and your humans would enter with +1/+1 counters on it. So it depends on what card you try and use it on, but overall, it's okay in the right builds. And there's not too much. I can't really. Alright, but anyway, we have Borrowed Sorry guys, I cannot talk for some reason today. So Borrowed Malevolence. So it's a black, and it's an instant, and you saw it's common. So you can choose one or both. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn, or target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Or you can escalate, which I think is a new mechanic, but I'm not too sure. What happened? I took my So you pay this cost for each mode chosen. Yeah, so if you wanted to choose both, you would have to pay 2 and a black. Okay. Let's just get back to that. Okay, I'm sorry guys. I have no idea what happened there. Scroll. It's loading. Any second. Alright. What happened? You guys were not supposed to do that. And then we have Cryptolith Fragment. So it's 3 cost flip uncommon card artifact. It enters the battlefield tapped, and add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Each player loses 1 life, and at the beginning of your upkeep, if each player has 10 or less life, you can transform it. So that's not your opponent, but you too. So if you use this 10 times and nobody takes any damage, then you're good. But it's at the beginning of your upkeep that you have to transform it, so I don't know if they use life gain somehow. I don't know. Alright, but this is what it turns into. Aura of Emrakul. That's a pretty good card. I mean, it's not good. I mean, let me just get on to it. But the art is amazing. Mouse, what did you do? Alright, but anyways, it's a creature, Eldrazi Reflection. It's a reflection though, so that's pretty odd. But, so it has flying and death touch, and whenever it attacks, each opponent loses 3 life. So it's like a silent skimmer in that it's when it attacks, it deals damage to a player, but this has a toughness and death touch, and they lose 3 life. But this takes a bit more to get to than that, so I mean they're pretty even on how that works. I'll get into that in 2 minutes. But next we have Chilling Grasp. So this proves that we have Madness in the next set. So, but anyways, it's 2 and a blue for an uncommon instant. And tap up to 2 creatures. Those creatures don't untap during their next untap step. It's pretty good. I mean, tap some stuff down for a few turns. It's good, yeah. And this also proves that there's Delirium in the set. So it's a green. It's 1 green for a 1/1 death touch Dryad Horror. But Delirium, it gets +2/+2 as long as there are 4 or more card types in your graveyard. So that could be creature, instant, sorcery, land, or creature, instant, sorcery, enchantment, or creature, sorcery, enchantment, land, that stuff. But this ties into these 2. So this is a milled card. So I'll go over this one first. So we have Bruna, the Fading Light. It's a 5 mana and 5 and 2 white for a 5/7 legendary creature, Angel Horror. And when you cast Bruna, the Fading Light, you may return target angel or human creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And it ends with Gisela, the Broken Blade. So here's how this works. So say you play this and somebody kills it, and then you play this, you bring it back, and then I'll get into like how it melds in 2 seconds. And then you bring in that, and then you can meld them together soon. But anyways, Gisela, the Broken Blade. No, it's not Gisela. Is it Gisela? Gisela? Leave in the comments below, please. I kind of want to know that. Leave in the comments below. So it's a 2 mana, 2 and 2 white for a 4/3 legendary creature, Angel Horror. Angel Horrors. It's new stuff. But you can tell that there's not right because there's tentacles growing out of her hair and body. So she's flying, First Strike, and Lifelink. Oh, and I don't think I told you, but this is Flying Vigilance. You might have seen that. So First Strike and Lifelink. And at the beginning of your end step, if you can both own and control Gisela, the Broken Blade, and a creature named Bruna, the Fading Light, exile them, then meld them together into Brisela, Voice of Nightmares. So they meld into this. I'll cover this in 2 minutes. But the cool thing about this, you cast this earlier in the game, somebody kills it, but then you bring it back with this. You end the turn, you exile them, and they turn into that. So it's just a pretty cool tie together card. But hello guys, I'm Magic and I'm back. My camera cut out for some reason, so I'll get back into it. So I'm on Cemetery Recruitment. It's 1 and a black for a sorcery. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If it's a zombie card, you can draw a card. So it's okay, but the draw card, it's a bit selective. If it was like, if it's a zombie or a vampire, draw a card. But I'm not going to be too picky since it's a common. Next we have Blessed Alliance. It's 1 and a white for an instant, and you can choose 1 or more. So target player gains for life, or untap up to 2 target creatures, or target opponent sacrifices an attacking creature. So escalate. So if you're to want to do all of these, it would essentially cost 6 mana. But if you were to choose one, you'd probably want to choose the target opponent sacrifices an attacking creature, or untap up to 2 target creatures. Thalia's Lancers. It's a 3 and 2 white for a 4/4 creature human knight with first strike. When Thalia's Lancers enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a legendary card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So if you could play 2 of these, you could search up Gisela and Bruna. So it's pretty good card if you're running a lot of legendaries. And then our last card, Unsubstantiate. So it's basically a remand, but you don't get a draw card. And if you don't know what a remand is, it's 1 and a blue, an instant, return target spell or creature to its owner's hand and draw a card. But this has a trade-off as remand, return target spell. This is also an unsummon, so you can return target spell or creature. So that's the trade-off. You can choose more, but you don't get to draw a card. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. This was Magic, and in the comments section down below, leave what you want to see in the next video. And remember to punch that like button if you liked this video, and as you're clicking out of this video,